want us to be talking and acting like we're confused. This is AOC's account. You can say you're not sure on it. I'm sure. This is AOC's account.
Just to be safe, I'm sure.
Simply because nobody responds to anybody in the first person that's not talking about them. That is not grammatically a thing that happens in our culture. Stop acting like somebody just fucked up. Stop. It didn't. This is her account, and he's here. No, he's here. What did Shama Sawan say? Describe Ryan Graham. He's a chaos agent. Yep. He's here to confuse shit, to make the people who have been turned off by this being AOC's burner account and the response. Those people who are on the fence, he's the one that's there to push him over the fence. Get your ass back over there to AOC side. Yeah. That's who Ryan Grimm is here to do. He's not here to get us. We don't go, this motherfucker don't make any sense because he's not trying to make sense to us. He's trying to make sense to the people who are on the fence, who are just waiting for AOC's last straw to be like, I'm off this shit. That's who he's there to push. Go ahead.
Hey, CJ, I hate to do this, but I have to correct you on something. It's not AOC, it's AO Jaja.
And that's everyone's gonna say this, and I am going based on the odds, guys. I told you I'm a very scientifically minded person. I'm going based on what is most likely, right? Odds, statistics, probability. That's what I'm thinking. I am explaining the story the way I am because I'm telling you what is more likely: this person being this ridiculous, being this dumb, and I'm gonna continue because there's so many layers to this. This person is this ridiculous, this dumb, or AOC just happened to have a burning account and she fucked up. Big deal. Once again, that's the funny part of the story. The professional managerial class who wrote entire Substacks, did entire live streams about Jimmy Dore burner account because they thought that was the flaming gun. They thought that was like, we got you, you motherfucker, you burner accounts. And then our response to that story was, who cares? Like, even Jimmy had a burner account. He says he used it so he can see tweets.
Right.
Yeah. They're not a big deal. But to them, that is like the biggest sin. So when AOC was accused of having a burner account, that's when it's like, man, how fucking Negro House, we ignored you forever. You called her a Nazi, you called her a right-wing sympathizer, but you accused her of using a burner account. Now you've gone too far. So once again, the odds to me in probability is most likely she used this as a burner account. And then when found, she panicked. These things makes way more sense than the story they were telling you. So I'm going to finish the story they were telling you because I didn't finish it. So according to them and Ryan Grimm, because I'm going to do what they won't do. They won't tell our side of the story. They are literally leaving out details. I've been following this. They've been like, why Zaza replied because Nico tagged him. Ignoring the retweet feature, ignoring the fact this person replies to this first person, and then they ignore the fact this person scrubbed their tweets. I notice when they tell the story, they don't tell the part that this person scrubbed their tweets and deleted their account because that makes it sound suspicious. So in their Twitter threads, they've been leaving that part out.
Did they start replying like after the video went viral? That's when they, or were they kind of already trickling in and saying,
"Oh no, it was going viral," so they was like, "Damn, we got to respond." Then Margie Taylor Greene. Then Margie Taylor Greene responded, and then they was like, "Okay, this shit's nuclear."
So that's when it was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah,
Margie Taylor Greene, and this. Think about this. Think about if you think about the content that AOC have done. When she gets around Marjorie Taylor Greene, you tell me she doesn't get extra animated. She is personally triggered by people comparing it to her and Lauren Boebert, but MTG the most. So. Think about it. If this was really her account, because this is what makes sense. If this is really her account, and then it gets to the point where Marjorie Taylor Greene, you telling me she's gonna go? Can we text Brian Grimm and tell him to go out there and do his thing? Please? Yeah, and before that's what happened. I don't care. That's what happened in my eyes. Go ahead.
No, JB, go ahead.
Yeah. By the way, this happened to Mitt Romney a few years ago.
Ted Cruz too.
Y'all remember?
I vaguely remember that. I do.
Yeah. Mitt Romney had a burner account, and he was, answering people, and people found out it was Mitt Romney, and Mitt Romney ended up deleting his account. So, is it really that big of a deal? Because I just reminded you guys about Mitt Romney. You guys haven't even thought about it, right? Nobody thinks about Mitt Romney having a burner account because it's innocuous. The thing is that it's the questions that have been asked to that person about their actual policy positions. That's the problem. And the thing is they don't want her to answer it.
all these people have burn accounts. I'm gonna get to the next part.
Go ahead.
Of the story. Let's see. Where is it? I have the archive. I might go through that afterwards. I'm gonna show you guys how Ryan Grimm blocked Nico House for bringing this up. So the freak out from the boutique left is another reason why this story is extremely telling to me. Once again, this is a fun story. I want to admit to that. Sometimes we do have fun. We need to do fun stories to lift ourselves after doing a lot of depressing ass stories, right? So this is a fun story, but it's a fun story with a purpose. Look at the mindset of the boutique left. They are more upset at Nico House for talking about AOC's potential burner account than they are of AOC actually funding Nazis in Ukraine, because that's what the entire thing is about. And so they spread this lie and pretend that this person apparently panicked because they were being harassed. Even though, guys, how easy would it be to simply take a picture of your hand, write your account name on it and the date, then all of a sudden you prove you're not AOC. You can easily do that, and not only do you erase this entire thing, you get a boost of followers because you start trending. Everyone talking about you, and AOC fans start rallying behind you because you the person who was bullied. There's no reason to delete the account, and no one can convince me otherwise. It's so easy to prove you're not AOC, but if you are AOC, what do? You delete the fucking account. Well, I'm going on odds and probability. I have no hard evidence, but based on odds and probability, it's way more likely this AOC, because if you're AOC, you delete the damn account. If you're not AOC, you just post a picture of fucking hand and prove you're not. Very easy. Instead of deleting the entire account, they delete the entire account instead of locking it, because then the issue doesn't go away. You can lock the damn account if you're worried about people harassing you. But then people are like, oh, that's AOC over there. Yeah, she locked, but I know that's AOC. So you can't even do that, so you delete the account. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, I'm gonna get to. I'm trying to make sure I didn't want to miss anything. But also, I had this in my notes. The last part before the Ryan Grimm part. This is why I said this is why we were having the discussion. If this is AOC's burner, which CJ thinks it is, based on probability, based on human nature, and I'm just going based on odds. It seemed way more likely than this person being a I don't know. I was about to say I want to be nice.
This is how I decide, because this is in life. This is how I can. The truth makes sense. So if you have two stories and then you tell one story and then the person will go, the one when you tell the story about this being a burner account, more people will go, oh yeah, that makes sense. You tell this other flipping, language flipping, logic flipping stories that these other people are telling, you'll be like, yeah, I wouldn't do that, but I guess that will be your reply. You get what I'm saying? Because you have to disbelieve all of your interactions with humans and your human behavior that you've experienced yourself to say, yeah, this doesn't seem like this is the truth. Don't believe that. Forget this. And this is what the professional managerial class does to perfection. This is what they always do. Stop believing your logic, your human experience, and believe this garbage like I'm going to feed you. And that's what Ryan Grimm does. Go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Jay, before I get to the next part of the story? I know I've been ranting like a motherfucker, but there's a lot to talk about the story. And there's a lot to explain. I'm trying to catch you guys up, because what the boutique left was trying to say was absurd. And I do not rule out the possibility that this is not AOC burner account, but they're trying to convince us that this random person purged their account, deletes all their tweets after speaking in the first person. And then when you look at the archive, you see a person who retweets AOC all the time. Before they were deleting all their tweets, people was digging up examples of, and you can see them on Twitter. I got to find examples. A lot of my mutuals posted them. Of this account going after people criticizing AOC. One example, I think their name's Snow Bimbo. They posted this screenshot of them criticizing AOC for the Met Gala, and then Zaza was like, cry harder. Like, so this all these smoking guns that a boutique left is pretend that you crazy for even asking about. This person, instead of locking their account, instead of turn off notifications, instead of logging off doing anything, they delete their entire account without any warning. Delete their entire. That's more likely to them instead of AOC being caught with a burner. To me, I don't buy it. But with that said, Nico made that video to call out and address AOC's hypocrisies about bigotry. because she was talking about Martin Luther Green and them and their transphobia. So Nico said, you're not as averse to bigots as you believe you are. That's why we at Fred have been at RBN. I still like to say that. And our brother, Nico House, Mark Kimberly, our friends at the Black Agenda Report, we all are against the NATO funding, not only as anti-imperialist, but on the simple principle that we don't fund Nazis. But you guys are 100% okay with funding Nazis because of geopolitical agendas, despite the fact they are extremely anti-gay, they're anti-Muslim, and anti-Black. So Nico is making the point that you're not as averse to bigots as you want to believe. So, and I'm not going to go through all the replies. I had a few saved up here. I'm not going to go through all of them because Nico was having a long thread with Ryan Grimm, and he kept saying, and Ryan was like, "Why? How are you so sure this is an AOC burner account?" And then Nico was like, "Okay, whatever, blah blah blah." What about AOC? What are your thoughts about AOC's saying not want weapons to Nazis in Ukraine? You're not worried about that? Ryan Grimm responded again. Why are you lying about her having a burner account? Nico like, okay, that's funny or whatever, but why? What are your thoughts about AOC funding Nazis? And then after Nico said that a few times, Ryan Grimm blocks him, and this is after Ryan Grimm gets the order. Ryan Grimm already had Nico House blocked. And then since AOC was in duress, CJ will pull up Marty Screen calling AOC, Matt Walsh calling AOC for the burner account. All the big right-wing accounts are like, AOC got a burner account. So they call Ryan Grimm, and Ryan Grimm and his call, sees like, damn, Nico House did it. Fuck, gotta unblock the motherfucker. So he goes and manually unblocks Nico House to look up the story that he got the order to attack. So then he unblocks Nico House. Then Nico House brings up the fact that AOC supports Nazis in Ukraine. And he's like, oh, God damn it, I should never unblock this motherfucker. Then blocks him again.